Hello everyone. So today in Israel, this week in Israel, we have Parashat Vayigash. In Parashat Vayigash, we talk about many things, and when I talk about the Parashat Shavua, it's always very hard to figure it out. What is the important thing to say? Okay, what should I say? There are so many things, and every year we go back and back again to the same parashot, and it's amazing that every time we learn more things and we learn more new things that we didn't learn before. This story about Joseph and his brothers, it's very, very hard for me, especially because I even though I know that the Torah is always there to teach us something, it's always there to give us a lesson, and all these things that we are reading are actually for us to become better, for us to learn a lesson from it. But all the story of Joseph being sold by his brothers, and we are talking about the beginning of Am Yisrael, of 11 tzaddikim, that they were like really tzaddikim, and they chose to do something that it cannot even come in our I cannot even think about it. Yes, so just to talk a little bit about the idea, what's happening in this parasha. So Joseph approached Yehuda approached Joseph to plead for the release of Binyamin, their little brother, and he's offering himself instead of Binyamin as a slave for the Egyptian ruler. In Binyamin instead, of course, upon witnesses that his brother's loyalty to their brother, Joseph is revealing who he is. He's revealing his identity, and he says, I am Joseph. He declares, is my father still alive? That's one of the things that he's interested in, to know if he will still can see his father. Of course, the brothers are overcome by shame and guilt and remorse, and Joseph comforts them. Yes, it was not you who sent me here, he says to them, but God ordered from above to save us all from famine. There is a reason why we everything happened to us, and everything has a reason. Okay, he tells them. Of course, this is very, very hard to understand how from where Joseph had the power after everything that happened to him as a boy, up until this moment, that he's a king in Egypt, to get to the point where he forgives them. First of all, I want to tell you that it's amazing how Joseph actually sees that everything that happened in his life built him to be who he was. He came from a very, very good family. Yes, a very pure family. He had no troubles other than, of course, his mom passing away when he was just a little boy. And but still, he's coming from a very good family. He's very, very pure. He learns Torah all day. Like, he has all this Torah thing around him. How can he get from that point to his life to the life in Egypt and becoming, like a king, the ruler? It's the right hand of Paul. It's very, very hard to imagine a Jewish boy from the yeshiva becoming going to a very, very, in Egypt it was known as a very, avodah zarah, like idolship and gilui hara, all the things happened there. Everything was there. So for him to become the ruler of Egypt, he had to go through all this for him to be able to be strong enough, to conquer, and to be strong enough to be a ruler in a country of non-Jews that are doing all these, sins. And a few years back, I read a quote that really, really stuck with me. And I want to read it to you today and to talk a little bit about it. So, to forgive is to set a prisoner free and discover that the prisoner was you. This is it. That every time things are happening, and we all have things that are happening to us in life by close people, but sometimes people that are doing very, very bad things to us, and it's very hard to release this thing of, oh, I went through this trauma, this happened to me, this person hurt me, how do I forgive? So first of all, Hashem has an advice to us. Okay, every single evening in the Siddur, we have a prayer that we're reading in Shema before we go to sleep. that says like this. I'm going to read to you. Master of the universe, I hereby forgive and pardon all who angered or provoked me or sinned against me, either against my body or my possession or my honor or anything else that is mine, be it under duress or willingly or by mistake or on purpose, be it by speech or by action, be it in this life or in a life before incarnation. Well, we all know that sometimes we have to come back and correct things. That's why we're here. And sometimes Hashem is sending those people for us to be able to correct what it was done to us in a different life. But I'm sure that a lot of people who read this prayer every night have a little bit of struggle with it, because it's not so easy to just look and say, okay, everything that happened to me today, all the people that hurt me, I forgive. This is it, that you don't forgive for them. You forgive for you. You release yourself from that burden. Because every time you hold a grudge or you have that anger inside of what the people did to you, it's eating us a little bit alive. And that can influence our health. It can influence our peace of mind. It can influence the way we are interacting with other people. And many times we have the power, and we need to understand that forgiving someone, it's a choice. It's a choice. You choose to do that, to release yourself, for you to live better. As long as you don't forgive that person still has a hand on you. That person still influence you. Don't give that person that power. That's a power. That's a power. And it doesn't mean that you have now to become the best friends with the person or to love the person even. No, forget about it. You forgive for yourself, and or the person is going to be judged by Hashem. You can give it to Hashem and say, it's yours, take care of it. You know what to do, because everything that happens for a reason. Also build me, even though people have choices, of course, and they choose to hurt. And what can we do? This is life. But it's also always a lesson, always teaching us something. And maybe I don't know the lesson yet. Maybe I don't understand why this happened to me. Many things I don't understand why happened to me in my life. But I chose to believe that Hashem did it for a purpose, that I learned. And everything I went through in my life, specifically, personally, I'm telling you, it happened and it built me to become who I am today. And without it, I would not be Tamar Tzahler. I would not be me. I would not be able to sit here and tell you and teach you about these things. And yes, to forgive, it's not easy. It's a choice that you're doing every single day. But every single day, even if you're not going to do it like this, but you work on it, and every single day you release a tiny bit, until you release yourself from this, hold that the person has on you. And you say, okay, I did what I did to make this person pay if there's something very bad, like if the person steals from you or something like that. Or I just give it to Hashem, and He knows what He knows. And He will deal with the person, because He's the master of the world. And the same as He brought you to this situation, He's also going to bring that person to this situation. There is no better judge in this world than Hashem Yitbarach. I really wish you with all my heart that you'll have the merit to always see the things that are happening to you, the reason behind it, and that you will always have the merit to be able to forgive things that people did to you in your life, for you to have a peace of mind, for you to have a better life, and not to let them hold that against you. I wish you all an amazing Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.